Salam, shalom. I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. The 1 minute mark. I'm going to get straight to it. Like, share, and subscribe. And visit the website as well, upscaleknowledge.org, allwiseservant.org. Check out the lecture magazines. That's in the shop part of the website. I also have courses on the blog side. They're not courses, but just deep sacred knowledge, the hidden meaning to certain scholarships. Basically like my Facebook used to be. If you've been following me long enough, I had a Facebook. And I used to put, different things, what the tree of life is, what this thing or that thing is, with images. I have courses like that. So visit the website. Like I said, I'm going to probably take the website down this year at the end. So whatever you missed, get to it now. And become a channel member if you're not. That's where most of my videos are. Peace and wisdom, Zolodi, Lodi, Roly. Everything's groovy on my end. Peace and wisdom, Jesse McCormick. Now, I'm assuming you guys all seen the first one, where I explain, the secret that common people do not know in regards to when they die. Like, how their soul, will be ping-ponged out of the 3 states of existence, unconscious, the dream state, and of course the physical world and body. So I'm assuming you all seen that. I don't have to go into that again. Now what I want to do is explain how to free self from that never-ending cycle of life and death. In Hinduism, it's called samsara. In real life, unconscious and conscious. How do you escape from that never-ending cycle? Because like I explained in the first one, even when you die, that doesn't stop. The soul itself goes unconscious and comes back awake. It has nothing to do with the physical world or physical body. This is why when you have dream, you get my point? You're not using your body, but your mind still comes awake. And you experience whatever the dream is. And of course, you go unconscious. And this is something that has nothing to do with the body. It has to do with the soul that you are. This is the mind. And so I want to explain using Hinduism how to escape that never-ending cycle. Of course, if you didn't see the first one, you should make sure you do that. That way you be crystal clear, on what I'm about to explain. Thank you to all of y'all that gave back. Those of y'all that haven't, you can do so when this video ends. Of course, I believe in balance. Laws of nature, if you knew. You plant a seed in the ground, you get back the flower or the fruit, food. Put that in your belly obliges to the same law, so you give back soil as doo-doo. Doo-doo and soil is the same thing. They use horse manure to fertilize soil and things like that. And so like I said, there's a balance in life. When you become one with nature, you see that balance. And that balance is kind of the fabric of life, or what holds it together. Day, night. Day is planted into the night and blossoms in the morning. You get it? You give and receive thing. Everything is dependent on that. The opposites finding their balance, with one another. And so that's the reason for the give backs. That, and, I'm not anyone's slave. Now, where was I at? I'm about to start. Any questions you can ask now. I'm assuming you all grasped the first video. Hopefully no one took it wrong. Meaning I know you guys all have y'all perspective of what y'all want to be when y'all die. And so the truth can be quite shocking if you have ego. When I say ego, I'm speaking what ego truly is according to text and other philosophies, not ego according to what y'all say, which is just y'all being bitter off of another person's arrogance. When you become fulfilled, a person's arrogance, or whatever you would call it, it is not going to disturb you in any way. You get my point? And this is just a jewel for some of y'all that's, envy and ego go hand in hand. That's why I always bother y'all with the ego. And then be like, y'all jealous. So you could see, like, go hand in hand. The more ego I show you, the more jealous you get. But I ain't... It's a deep thing. Y'all don't have like an eye. Y'all too emotional. That's why I say you got to cleanse away the emotional state. Then you could see everything clearly. Meaning those of y'all that's not emotional, you see like, no, he's agitating y'all on purpose. Y'all are stupid. Like, he already said what he doing. Like, fucking with y'all on purpose because y'all did what y'all did. Y'all apologize, then we could be done with that. But in the meanwhile, y'all could still learn, like, through y'all flaws. You get my point? In that moments like this are most of my moments when I'm humble, sitting by the riverside. I ain't never doing too much. You get my point? In regards to like flossing or showing off to y'all. But you get my point? If you come here, you would think like he must be a social media influencer. They just don't understand envy. Envy gonna spark ego, and ego gonna spark envy. And that's why it's best to just remove yourself from those environments. You get my point? If you're not on a certain level of awareness or consciousness, because it's going to overcome you. A person going to get envious of you. It's going to make you become egotistical. You're not going to be able to turn it on and off like I do. Like I said, I'm just doing it to bother y'all because you get it, y'all petty. Name and car for an edit. Like I said, I do it just because y'all petty. But in real time, when you don't have like emotional control and all them things, you get my point? Somebody being envious of you can put you into a ego state. And that both fires feed the flame, and you get my point? Now both crash out. But what real ego is, like I said, when you become fulfilled and you grasp things, a person's arrogance, or even their ego, it ain't gonna bother you. Why would it? It's like little kids. You see the one kid teasing the other kid, blah, blah, blah. And you look at the other kid getting mad about it, and you like, you get it? Y'all got little children that y'all go through this with. Where you like, man, you know your brother just bothering you. Why you letting it bother you so much? You mature, your kid ain't. So you get it? Let the dumbest things disturb them. I'm saying it from that perspective. When the soul mature, you're not gonna be concerned with nobody's egos, arrogance, or nothing that got to do with love or stagnant. You get my point? And so ego the right way have to do with perspective. And so the point I was making is I explained in the first video, the realities of what will be when we die. And like I said, if you have an ego, which is a perspective, meaning you have control over your own perspective. The ego is the I, or the self. In that, your perspective can be selfish, meaning you can be wrong at something, but you say, no, I don't want to be wrong. You can be aware that you're wrong, but you say, I don't care. You can be unfair with somebody and be aware of it, but you're like, I don't care. You justify it however you do. You get my point? This is the ego. This is what, concerning wisdom, this is what all is supposed to conquer. That aspect of the self, where nobody have the control over your perspective. Maybe they do, but You have to control a lot of yourself and say, no, they don't. Let's say you a follower. You got the control to say, no, I'm not. But you really are, and you're aware that you are. But let's say in a moment of an argument or a debate, you say, no, I'm not. And you hold firm on, you get it? Your lie or your truth, which is a lie. It's a perspective thing. On a surface level, well, you get it? Things like that get overlooked. Meaning y'all overlook. Some of y'all may have hurt your parents, but you overlooked that. You like, man, you knew you was wrong in the moment. Let's say you older now. When you was younger, maybe you get it? You kind of was an asshole with your parents or maybe a loved one, and reflecting back, you like, yeah, I was, I was in the wrong. I wasn't being fair, and you get my point? But you never looked at the damage it could have done on a spiritual level to that person. It kind of happened already. You like, well, whatever. You get it? Like that. Your perspective can be completely selfish because nobody can adjust your perspective. You just have to be honest within and be able to acknowledge when you are. Why did you remove your comment? I was just about to get to it. Whatever the comment or question was, put it back if you don't mind. But like I said, you can get lost in your perspective, and it can take you to the lows. You get my point? And this is what wisdom is about, becoming aware of, simple things like that. You can get lost in your perspective. It can take you off course. Salam, shalom. Thank you to whoever gave back. Like I said, it can take you off course or take you off your initial purpose, your perspective being a little tainted. Uncut Wisdom said, what does it mean when you die? I don't get it, brother, because you nor I are dead. It's kind of stupid title. If you don't understand something, which you clearly don't, it's not the thing that's stupid, it's you that's stupid, being as though that's how you want to word it. Now, every day you die, meaning every day you go into an unconsciousness. This is where you forget you even exist. But you don't have enough knowledge or wisdom on anything. So you get my point? You don't realize every day or one day is eternity. Repeating so that you learn a thing. So every day you die and you raised up out of that death in the morning. That's that Jesus thing that Christians worship. They say the Lord gonna save me. They don't get like they die every day. The Lord save you every day. You owe like a mother. You get my point? But all those lessons is for, the soul to grow and learn how to do things on its own, like raise its own self and so on and so forth. But in regards to the title, watch the first part of this video. I'm not doing you no kind of way. I'm not sure what you're listening to. I'm explaining to you that ever in your way unless you want to stay dumb about that part. Watch the first video. I explain what happens when we die in real life. And you won't have to worry about questioning it. Like, how do I know that's real? You're going to know when you watch it and listen. Once you listen and you grasp everything there, now I'm about to explain Hinduism. Or scholarship in Hinduism, which explains what to do to escape that never-ending cycle of life and death that you experience every day in every life. You get my point? He wasn't thinking in a literal sense. He was thinking in ignorance or in lack. And so a lot of y'all have that mind. You say, how we supposed to know about death if we ain't die? Some of you may say it to me, you ain't die. I was gonna say yeah, but I died maybe once or twice. A couple of occasions they brought me back because y'all overlook things like that. People be dying all the time and come back. You feel me? I've been shot, stabbed a few times. You get it? I know what it's like to get a little chilly. That's how death is. You start getting chilly. When you alive, you think of death like you're scared of it. But when you dying, you be like, yeah, this is nice. I don't want to scare none of y'all. But you kind of be like, yeah, come on with this. Hurry up. I guess that's why people die. You ever see somebody dying and you like, they trying to snap them out of it, but it seems like they just want to go It's kind of like that. You get kind of like a feel like, go and take me a little rest. Y'all don't realize how tired y'all are until y'all about to die. So it's kind of like that. This ain't that bad. Why y'all be laughing with the bones and all of these emojis? I don't know what none of that mean. Can we keep things simple, please? Now, in regards to what I said, I wasn't being funny. Death is kind of like that. I know why you're laughing. That's why I said I'm not being funny. Y'all living in this life, it get a little hard. And y'all blow past your hard shit, come a lot. I ain't saying y'all keep track of it. If y'all did, then you get it. Most of y'all wouldn't feel low. Come a long way. Just in terms of you going through whatever you have. Pardon my voice. I almost choked to death. But like I said, even the lowest amongst y'all on a material level, you're probably viewing yourself from a materialistic level and not from just, making it through every day. And that's the true merit of a person. You get my point? If your day is hard and you wake up in the morning and the next nigga's day is so easy, then you get my point? The glory is yours because you get it? The will you have is stronger. He probably would have clocked out if he was in your condition. Maybe he started like you when he was strong that he had for so long it weakened him out. He'll hang himself if he have your life. Life is more than materials. It's about, the growth of the spirit, the overcoming things. And that, some of y'all are glorified. Are you strong? And you got a lot to offer in regards to that strength, but you get my point? Live in a materialistic world, y'all fall into society's BS, and you get my point? Let the beating of itself up begin. But overall, because I want to get to the video, I explained in the first part, you get my point? He said you choke. I explained in the first part of this video what happens when we die and how we're, bound or trapped in our own unconsciousness. The same way you are in the physical. You don't have to get lost on nothing I say. Whatever I say in death, you already go through it in life. Life and death is like day and night. It's halves of a whole thing, both being a reflection of the other. So whatever you experience in life, you experience in death. And vice versa. But it's all on, the understanding you hold. Now, of course, in the first one, I explained how we be trapped in that never-ending cycle of, coming awake and going unconscious until it gets to, I guess you could say the last stages of death, where we are the consciousness and then you just have that unconsciousness or dark space that we're bound to. This is when you're unconscious and aware, and it stay like that for eternity. So imagine when you go into sleep at night and you go unconscious. Imagine if your mind or your soul was awake and aware while you was in that darkness, kind of just sitting there, waiting till the body wake up. That'd be kind of freaky. You're like, oh shit, I fell into unconscious sleep, but for some reason this time my conscious didn't go out. And I'm just stuck here in the dark. I can't move or do nothing. I can't even think. You get no visions in that darkness. It's a deep thing. I visited it once in a dream. I was shown this place in the dream. Let's say I did a video on it. No, it's not boring. It's scary. Like shit on yourself scary if you had your body. It's nothing y'all ever experienced worse than that. Like I said in the dream I had, I was living a certain life. Salam, shalom, love. This ain't the place for all of that. Watch the first video. Get familiar where you are. But I was living a certain life, and I had just recently got shot. And I know most of y'all grass. A lot of people just simple-minded. They childish as a soul. So playing dumb is their antagonist. But as some people be scared, they deal with things how they do. You get my point? But it is what it is. I'm gonna let you go, Miss what's her name? You a reflection of what I just said. Meaning, if you was listening, you would see like you childish. You said that already. You don't gotta repeat it 15,000 times. I already told you this ain't the place for that. Salam. But I was living a certain life. I ain't gonna tell the whole thing. I'm gonna skim through it, but I got shot. And then I had this dream that I got killed. By shooting, of course. What the hell is this? I got killed, in my dream or vision, whatever you want to call it. And it was by shooting. And of course, everything faded out, but my consciousness didn't. So it kind of was like a curtains going down thing, or like your eyelids just going down slow. I could still see, like, as I'm dying, I could see, like, people running towards me. I could still hear. So, people are going crazy. Oh shit, cheese got shot, blah, 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 blah. I could hear everything. And it's fading out slow. I could kind of see the feet. It's almost like you can't move your head. The eyes just kind of going out. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like the end of a movie. Like I fade out into the black. But I didn't fade out with it. Of course, in ignorance, like most of y'all right now, you probably figure like when you die and go out, you're going to go out like in sleep. That ain't what happened. I was still awake. You get it? It was completely dark. I could still hear everybody in physical life. I'm like, what the fuck? You get it? Then at some point that faded out too, and I was just in the darkness, like, and you could feel it. The darkness started getting real. It started closing in on you. You get it? I tried to scream, and the darkness kind of go in your mouth. It start choking you out. It's damp and shit, like a nasty feeling, damp and fucking uncomfortable, cobwebby like. You start freaking out. Think like if you in the dark and somebody keep tickling you and you like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like constant antagonism where you like, what in the fuck? But you're dead. So you're freaking out like, who can save me from this? You get my point? Man, I almost had a heart attack in my dream. I guess that was for me to change my life, but I didn't. But you get my point? So I went through more shit, but this is life. I'm saying that because one of y'all said it sound boring. No. Scariest thing, I ain't never forget it. I've been shot in a whole bunch of things, but nothing was scarier than that. And I woke up from that and I'm like, there's no goddamn way. You understand eternity in that moment and it freak you completely out. Just think like if you die and everything go black and you just stuck in that blackness, conscious. So you like, at first you just like, okay, I guess this Jesus character, you get it? Somebody gonna come and save me. You realizing like, oh, I must be in trouble. first thing I thought was like, how life break on me? Like, you figure like if I die, my soul supposed to leave or something. So in the dream, in my mind, I'm like, yo, how it broke on my, you know? I'm thinking like that, like I just got killed, but my soul stuck in my body or something went wrong. And I'm like, you start freaking out because you're like, who the hell am I supposed to, you get my point? Who am I supposed to call? What am I supposed to do? So I'm just sitting here like, somebody must gonna come. Time go by, you ain't got no clock, so you kind of like every second is an hour type of thing. You like, okay, no one's coming. I'm just sitting here. Then you start thinking like, damn, life broke on mine. So you're trying to kind of call for somebody, but you get it. That's when you start realizing like, oh, this darkness I'm in, I don't know, man. You start getting nervous. Time going by, you like, hold on, I'm gonna be here for forever. You start thinking like the devil and shit. Like, oh, is that what it meant? Like, they was bound to change the darkness for eternity. You start freaking out because you in it. And you get my point? I suppose this is how souls get so negative. This is where the negative energy come from the negative souls in life, and the positive energy come from the positive souls. But you get my point? I'm speaking of the ones in that state. You get my point? I don't know how to explain it, but I was like that for quite a little while. Then I woke up. And you get my point? I ain't gonna lie, I was mad at God. I was mad at like whoever I thought did it. It's that kind of feeling. I don't want y'all to think like, I want you to kind of grasp it. You wake up angry, like you hear like they got demons that curse God. You go in that shit, you get it. Like, okay, I see like how if you go into that darkness and ignorance, you get it? Some of y'all nice loving souls, but you sitting in there for about an hour or two, or however long an hour or two is in death. You don't have a mind like, I hope God come and save me. You have a mind like, yo, when God come, I'ma kill this motherfucker. This is crazy. Like, who would do this? That's how your mind go when you go there, because that's how horrible it is. You like, ain't no way God good. This shit's unbearable. It's unbearable. Like, the cobwebs all in your ear all nonstop. You get my point? Freaking out, hearing voices of thinking you are. It's bad. But like I explained in the first video, that's the end result. This is spoken of in different, scholarships. But watch the first one. I explain what happens when you die. Just look at it like this. In the physical life, you go into the unconsciousness and you go unconscious with it. And death is the opposite of the physical. So in death, when you go to the unconsciousness, you be awake. And when you come back to your body, it don't work. So that be the darkness. And that other side, you be awake there. Y'all go unconscious when y'all go to unconscious. And when y'all come into the body, y'all go conscious. On the other side, meaning when you dead, it's reverse. When you come into your body, it's dead. So it's nothing. You're just in that dark space. And when you go unconscious, you get it? Your ass be conscious. You just consciousness. That's all we are. And that, you get my point? In physical life, we get saved from that darkness, meaning y'all get what Muslims say. In Muslim scholarship or Islamic scholarship, it speaks of the shade of Allah. So you could say like every night we get the shade of Allah, where it don't let us witness that true end. But when you die, you get my point? They get crazy. Of course, in Hinduism, in the Far East teachings, you got the Tibetan Book of the Dead. It speaks of things that I'm explaining right now. Meaning, I don't want you to think I'm just pulling this off of a dream out of thin air. But You got scholarship that speak on this. And of course, when you're dealing with Hindu scholarship, they speak of Vimoksha. This is the freeing of the soul from that darkened state that I was just explaining to y'all. Of course, the powers of life are the force of life that, push you into unconsciousness and pull you out of it, because y'all don't do that on y'all own. Same with the sun, the same force that pushed the sun down and, raise it up out of that every day. It's just a real God over life. He who has keys to death and Hades, so to say. When y'all go unconscious, y'all end up in a dream. Y'all don't control none of that. I'm saying that so you could grasp. I can't say if you gonna get taken out of that unconsciousness and brought somewhere else. You get my point? But that's the path of all the souls. Now, whatever God or the force over life decided want to do with this specific one or that one, that's your own glory. But outside of that, so that's the path of the soul. You get my point? Just like that's the path in your day. You'll be awake and then you gonna go out. And so, peace and wisdom, vision unlocked. And so, like I said, love y'all. If you're new and you don't mind, make sure you give back for this deep knowledge. This the sacred stuff. Dream Lavish said, so what if we die? There's nothing scary about it. It's just natural. It's just life. Indeed, I hear you. Maybe you just popped in right now. Maybe you rewinded a little bit, but nighttime scarier than the daytime. Life and day is like a macro day and night. So you get my point? Wherever there's ignorance, there's going to be fear. So this is why you want to recede your ignorance. That's the best way I could put it. Meaning, if you ignorant on death, it's going to be scary for you. Just like if you ignorant on life, it's going to be a little scary for you. Some of y'all scared to go outside. You ignorant on life. You believe things you see online. Stereotypes and things. Things that block you. A lot of y'all live like that in the daytime. You watch online, you build up a bunch of stereotypes and make you scared of life. And so, like I said, ignorance and fear go hand in hand. Most of y'all, let's say you're not from the ghettos. You're a white person from the suburbs. So you probably got a whole perspective of black people. But if I took you to the ghettos and you just came as a regular person, not as a cop or some weirdo, you just with me and that's my man, then you'll see like, oh, people, ain't no different. Everything I thought was just stupid stereotypes of one situation here, there, but overall, these people just regular people like in my neighborhood. They even got some shit we don't got, and we got shit they don't got, because you kind of learn that when you go into the ghettos. They not poor. They fucking live like they gonna die tomorrow. That's their problem. They think they ain't gonna live that long. In regards to them, they shit ain't in order. But outside of that, they just good people living, under a certain kind of pressure. And pressure make them feel like I got to do everything I got to do now, because blood, I know next door got his head blown off yesterday. You see people dying around you a lot. It gives you the urge to say, well, maybe I need to rush some of this shit. And that they gonna take, risking things that maybe the boys in the suburbs ain't. But the boy in the suburb figure like he gonna be around forever and living with his mama till he 40. The dude in the ghetto got kicked out at 15, so you get life just a little more realer. You kind of learn that, like, okay, these people down in these ghettos, man, they kind of smart. They know life a little. You ever see the little ghetto baby? A little suburban baby, and you like, damn, the little ghetto boy or that little ghetto girl a little fast, a little grown for their age. Like that, the pressures of life, they got different kind of pressures. Make them grow up faster. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just the thing. And you get my point? You kind of notice the difference. I grew up in both. When I was 11 years old, my mother moved us to Atlanta, Georgia. Not the Atlanta that y'all have now, but 1993 Atlanta. And you get it? I kind of lived the suburban life. I had to like mow the lawn so I can get allowance. School bus used to pick me up. And then in the summers, I go back to New York and, run around the projects and do that thing. And that I know both. And it's like I said, it's the same. It's just the struggle in the ghetto. Should have had more shit when I was being projects than when I'm in the suburbs. My life more ordered though when I'm living with my mama in the suburbs. You get my point? It's more of an order. But let's say in the ghetto, so maybe I have more things. I don't know how to explain it, but stereotypes, like I said, fear and ignorance go hand in hand. But watch the first video. I didn't carried on long enough, but it was all good carryings ons. Watch the first video so you can grasp, the secret, in death. What happens to the self when you die. This video has to do with me explaining how to escape that. Now, in Hinduism, they have Vedas concerning what they call Vimoksha. And this is liberation from samsara. Vimoksha is basically liberation, freedom. Freedom from what? Samsara. Samsara is the never-ending cycles of life and death. Whether you talking about how every day y'all leave this world and then pop right back in it the next morning, never being able to escape beyond the unconsciousness, or going to the dark unconsciousness then popping back up here for the same day. Some people been on a cycle so long they don't even realize it. They lost into the numerology where they think there's a bunch of different days, 365 of them. They think there's 7 days in a week and all the number thing. They lost in the numerology. They never took the time to realize there's just one day and we all leave from it and come back to it. This day is a place that I'm speaking of. But we leave it consciously, like as souls, and go into unconsciousness. Sometimes we end up in dream. The place is in that dark unconscious space. But then we pop right back up to the day. And if I ask any, how do you escape that? Like, how you free yourself from that? Most of y'all say, I don't know. I never even thought about that until you just said it. And so in Hinduism, they got scholarship concerning that. That's why, knowledge is a levels thing. There's things y'all haven't even begun to think of. In that, you read in a certain scholarship and you like, I'm completely lost. Some of y'all read Hinduism before. You like, I know Vimoksha. But when I'm saying what I'm saying now, you like, oh I never thought of that. When you was reading up on Vimoksha, you was reading up on that. But you never thought about that. You just went straight to reading the Vimoksha in Hinduism. Like that. You got to know a thing to know a thing. And so, first you got to know why you need Vimoksha. Why you need Vimoksha. Like I said, Vimoksha is liberation or nirvana. Nirvana is like heaven. Or in Hinduism, it's the land or the realm of bliss and pleasure. And so I'm going to explain all of this. But in Hinduism, the soul has to acquire Vimoksha. This is speaking of when y'all die. There is Vimokshas that a person can accomplish or acquire in the physical. But in regards to, nirvana, or the realms of pleasure and bliss, the starting place of the soul. That Vimoksha is concerning when the soul is dead and now, stuck in this darkness. Of course, in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, this is the Bardo the Thadol, Bardothodol, Bardo Thadol. That's basically the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and it explains how the living are supposed to have like one ceremony every week for 7 weeks after a person dies. That's 49 days. And this is to help guide the soul, you get it? Through the torments of dying, so to say. We put a lot on ourselves in physical life. It stay with us in death. You are not anger, but you get angry. Anger is its own entity. It make your face scround on up. Everybody angry takes on a certain characteristics, a certain mindset. You get it? The face change. My angry look different, and we all look the same in anger. Meaning, you get it? Ain't nobody confused when somebody is angry, and you get it? And ready to do something to you. That's its own entity in life. You your own entity in life. We all our own entities in life. Anger and all the lower emotions are higher ones. These is entities in life. They live through us in any moment we receive it in. You get the urge to get angry, but you don't have to accept it. But we do. We take it in. Once we take it in, it become bound to us. Start getting angry on a regular. When you die and you no longer have your physical vessel, now you get to see what the anger actually does to you when you can't project it out to anyone else. Meaning, if I tell most of y'all, whoever you angry at or whoever you hate, you fucking up your own self. You the one that feel like shit every time you see them. They probably don't even know you hate them or you angry at them. Half of y'all right now got a bitterness in your soul for Trump, and you don't even know that, man. Again, don't overlook you. He not important. You got a bitterness in your soul. A fear in your soul because you like, I don't like him and he reckless. And you got to carry that every day. And he probably don't even know you exist. You get my point? You angry at somebody and you causing bitterness to come upon yourself and the ugly feelings that come with that. And you got to walk around with that. Most people overlook that. Meaning they overlook their anger, their hate, these lower emotions is actually attacking them. But they project it out onto whoever like they hate or they angry at. But in all truth, it's attacking them. That's why they doing that. When you die and you no longer have your body or somebody else to project it on, then you get to see the anger for what it is. It's not you, it's its own entity. And then it's going to attack you the same way that it do in the physical, but you blinded by the physical, so you just pass it on. Like, and that when you're dealing with like the Book of the Dead, this is like Hinduism, the same characters. This is where like Kali and a lot of those entities in Hinduism start to appear to the soul, tormenting them, like, antagonizing them. But your common person don't know, like, this is just the lower things that I've carried over. I died, I still had little angers and little guilts. And I was still not settled with certain things. Like, you still like, I'ma slap this shit out of blood when I see him. You died on that accord still, though. Like that. Your lower vibrations kind of coming to haunt you now like you do in the physical. But in the physical, you got all the things to distract you from yourself and the realities pertaining to self. So if you hate somebody right now, you view it like you're doing something to them almost. You don't look at it like, damn, I'm making myself feel like shit. The more I hate them, the more I feel like shit. And you die with that, you get my point? That come back to haunt you. It comes in whatever form and shape it takes. Just like in death, you still have your image. It's ingrained in your mind. It's a vibration. You get my point? Meaning we all have a fingerprint. My fingerprint ain't yours. That fingerprint is our soul's vibrational pattern manifesting out in the vessel. That's why I say you always gonna look like how you look. Even as a soul, you look how you look because your look is a vibration that manifested out, meaning a pattern. A pattern that manifested out, and the blueprint is in the pattern. And that my voice is my own voice, and my fingerprint is my own fingerprint. And nobody have that, and y'all all the same. A vibration is basically the source of a sound. Like I said, y'all all have y'all own unique voice and y'all own unique print. Y'all print is y'all soul's vibration manifested out, and y'all voice is that same vibration manifesting physically, being able to speak now. And so It's on how wise you are. A lot of y'all come in, you see my appearance, you say, man, you look like a young boy, or maybe this thing or that thing. Oh, you got a tattoo on his eye. There's nowhere in, in the rules of wisdom that even the lowest person on the planet can't become wise and reach a state of, it doesn't say nowhere that even the lowest person can't become a sentient. You get my point? I'm not saying I was the lowest person or anything like that, but whatever your perspective is, a lot of y'all overlook I'm 43 years old, or I'll be 43 in a couple of months, and you get my point? I'm a grandfather. I got a lot of life experience. More than that, you get my point? Kind of read through a lot of scholarship. I had a lot of questions pertaining to life and death, and so let's say I was fulfilled with all the answers all the answers to all the questions I had. But you have to, go through or do a certain thing, meaning you got to cleanse yourself of the negativity. You got to cleanse yourself of the ego, which is your perspective. You got to get the mind to grasp life is life. There's the happenings in life. Maybe you come on top or the bottom of any happening, but there's still the going forward. You get it? Never overlooking self. Once you grasp these things, all things is your own fault concerning yourself. You follow? Let's say you was dating somebody and they cheated on you. That's your fault. You ain't had your antennas up and you ain't have the proper love for yourself. You get my point? To secure yourself. Y'all know when people don't be right. Or maybe y'all overlook it. Or maybe y'all have ignorance on certain things. But you can always tell what a person is from their tone. Words don't matter. Meaning a wise person and a dumb person have different tones. When y'all angry, the tone is different. Y'all listen to people's words, not their tone. You become mature enough, you get it? The mind gets clear. You pick up on the tone. You get my point? Some of y'all catch it, meaning y'all will catch it in like anger. Let's say somebody angry at you, but they trying to hide it, but you still picking up on the antagonism. You get it? Where you like, this motherfucker got a problem, but they trying to act like they don't. But you get it? You keep playing with me. Like that. The tone be different. But they're hiding it. Like, oh no, everything's regular. But like, nah, your tone, your vibration is off. You get it? It's something ain't right. Like that. When you become, crisp. You can catch it beyond anger. You can catch it in envy. You can catch it in anything. The tone will give it away. Let's say somebody about to set you cold-blooded up. You'll catch it in their tone before they even able to bring you wherever they trying to bring you. You'll catch it like, no, they tone. It's the same tone as a snake. That's why I said don't trust people that speak in air. When they got a lot of air in their voice. Hi, my name is, and that sweet talk. Where it's a lot of air there. That's like how a snake hiss. A lot of air there. You get familiar with tones, you understand, like, okay, I hear everything you saying, but you a snake. Are you this? Are you envious? Are you get it? You'll know what they are. They gonna say whatever they want. Man got that ability to cover up, wolf in sheep clothing thing. He can make himself appear however he want, but his vibration, he can't change that. He can't change the glares in his eyes and his tone. And so, wisdom go deep, but it's just, you got to take your time and go through, your levels of the thing. Now, Dream Lavish, you said you making death seem deeper than it is. When we die, just get eternal rest and don't have to worry about the hardships of life anymore, even if you are sinning in life. Salam, peace and wisdom. Now, to the rest of y'all that heard everything in this video, I'm about to explain Vimoksha, peace and wisdom, Joshua Northern. Take the Jews, apply them to self. These are the things y'all have to overcome to reach the levels of, wisdom that I'm at. Some of y'all, so maybe you disagree that I'm the wisest person alive, even though you still haven't seen the full measure of my knowledge or my wisdom. There's a bunch of shit I can't even talk to y'all about because y'all wouldn't grasp it. You get my point? But it's like I said with Hinduism and Vimoksha. Maybe you read up on that, but you didn't know nothing about like the soul in its last state. And then you heard the part one of this video, and you get my point. Now you could grasp, oh, when I'm reading that, they was explaining how we get out of that, and that you could grasp, damn, whoever wrote the Vedas pertaining to Vimoksha in Hinduism thousands of years ago, that motherfucker was smart. He was advanced. Like, god damn, I didn't even know nothing about that to even know I needed that. Like that, y'all don't even have the awareness to say, damn, whoever wrote the Bible in these books, these dudes had next level understanding. Because the way they finagled these things, and you get it, y'all haven't gotten to a place of mind to even grasp what they truly even talking about. And that, like I always say, you got to know a thing to know a thing. But for those of y'all that struggle to grasp I'm the wisest alive, or for those of y'all that don't struggle to grasp that, now of course I don't know everybody in life. Let's say there's a sprinkle of people here and there that are wiser than me. I'm not talking about like online. Anything that I could see that's a part of society, I'm not talking about it. You don't even have to have it in mind. But I'm talking like maybe some soul in a cave or some soul, out in nature somewhere that y'all never even seen before. And maybe they give me a run for my money, Outside of that, to reach the levels of awareness that I have, we talking knowledge. You gotta cleanse yourself of all the negativity, like the lower vibrations. This is like hates, angers, the burdens and things y'all carry around on a spiritual level, but you don't look at it like junk that you carry around. You gotta fix your perspective. We see out, so we put blame on everything out. You gotta learn to direct, blame the self. You gotta learn how to put self on the scale. You see how we judge out? That judgment is for us. Your judgment that you have for others, when you become mature enough, it is a tool that you will use to develop your own self. Now, running around critiquing everybody else ain't helping you fix your damn flaws. You just helping them fix their own flaws. It's like building somebody else's house. Again, the power of judgment that y'all have is for y'all. When y'all decide to become fully aware of self and pay attention to the morality of self and how the self is moving. Your morality is going to make for, your reality and perspective. You get it? It's going to make for a path and bring you wherever it does. You become aware of these things, you get my point? You start to become aware of your morality, how you move, the things you do, where you are. And that, do you get my point? You start to put the self on the scale. Instead of judging this person, you know how you'll be like, this person is fake and phony? You start to look at all the ways you fake and phony, because that fake and phony is the phony that you have with yourself is manifesting for you. You get it? When you start to understand all my thoughts and my actions, which is coming from my thoughts, I have to transcend those things, all the ones that are not right, because they manifest in things that's countering other things that I want. And so it's like a balance in life, but you have to start to take the time out on self. And that's what a teacher for. To sit with you and, you get it, walk you through your flaws. You dealing with them whenever you get a chance to, but kind of grasp. There you go, God body. You start to carry your own burden, your own cross. The weight of the body. The body is the cross. Most people don't get that. And the Lord is the spirit inside, but so the spirit carry the burdens of the body, the urges of the body, and the urges of the world. Rowan Yo Akbar said, I keep getting attacked by the lower natures every time I think I got rid of them. You wash your ass, you get dirty again at some point. You gotta wash yourself again. It's not a magic trick. Cleanse my conscious and my emotional state. Now I'm clean. It's gonna get dirty again. Clean it. That's why you keep up with it. You know, clean it here and there as you go. Don't let it get overwhelmed with dirt. Have one situation bother you, you try to overlook that one and muffle it out, and you get my point. This is why stars lose their mind. They're always told, like, you get it? Let's say one of y'all a fan and y'all say something to them that hurt their feeling. They won't give it back to y'all because that's against the rules for them. In that, they become overwhelmed over time. They're holding in and pretending like things ain't bothering them. That is. In that, we're going to jump off of the deep end at some point. A lot of y'all are normal when you have that reality. You've overlooked too much. And now you feel completely beat the fuck down. But you like, no, the politically correct way. And you get my point. You haven't gotten to that place where you say, you know what? I don't know nobody, no honor or no fairness that ain't. And you start giving people their shit back and understand balance. And it ain't your job to take on the world's abuse. Because the world will abuse y'all out if y'all let it. Trying to fit in with whatever narratives of society in regards to self. You want to look like a nice, humble person. So maybe you take in way more than you should to uphold this fake facade. And that is slowly killing and eating away at you. You get my point? And so, you know, people die like that in those states. And you get it? Those torments attack them. But you're clean, you'll get dirty again. It's the same with the mind and the emotional state. It will get dirty over time. You just have to clean it again. You get my point? Meaning learn how to let go of the things that are weighing you down, you know, the burdens, the baggages that's not necessary. There you go, Joshua Northern. Real life teach you better than any book. Whatever's putting in the book, somebody probably got it from life. Or they scrambled up a thing they got from life. But whatever, you get it? All you got is reality and the scramblings up of it. And so, the same with your soul. Got your pure soul and then the scrambling up of it, which is where most people are. At the scrambling stage. They haven't untangled their soul out. They still attached to a lot of things, you know, because of the soul's inner boredom. I listen to stupid entertainments and things that truly bring y'all down, keep y'all stagnant and distract y'all from self and the things y'all can be doing for self. But you get it? That inner boredom make you say, man, I'm going to go ahead and watch this dumb shit. And entertaining Trump for no reason. Even though y'all had enough presidents to see none of them truly affect y'all true reality. Whatever's going to happen. It's just a face card and ain't no need for you to overthink it. Let's get to your life. And you get my point? Y'all sitting around listening to people talk about these things repeatedly that really don't even care. It's money for them, the conversation. But for you, it's a burden and a torment within. And you get my point? Free yourself of those things. Terrell Watkins said, why are you so wise? And you have to ask wisdom itself. You know, Thoth. Thoth is thought. And so you have to ask thought. I just think. I just think and speak. I don't. But I can't tell you why I'm so wise. I wouldn't know. I could just tell you how I got wise. But in regards to the light bulb actually turning on, I don't control myself going unconscious or conscious, so I can't say. Get it? Same force that make us go conscious. You know, consciousness go beyond that. You get my point? Knowing everything in existence is like the pinnacles of being awake or aware. Remember when y'all go unconscious and y'all in a dream, y'all are awake or aware. And there's a level of awareness above that, which is physical life. Y'all more aware here. Dream is kind of lucid. And here is kind of, stable. Like I said, there's levels of consciousness beyond whatever y'all know as consciousness, but you get my point. And so those on those realms would know. This is what's manipulating intellects. You get my point? See how I'm helping y'all get wise? So on a spiritual level, in the levels of higher conscious, so conscious is manipulated the same way y'all manipulate people right now consciously. Y'all watching online getting manipulated the hell out of. This is all happening on a conscious level. I'm not even around them manipulating their mind. So you get my point? I don't want you to think I'm talking that imaginary bozo talk, but just on the real level of things. Consciousness is influencing consciousness on every plane of existence. And that I can't say what sparked my mind to have this awareness that I do, understanding, but wise ain't that great of a thing, It is and it ain't. It's like anything. A gift and a curse. You get my point? Most of y'all ain't. You're not strong enough to be wise as I am. You probably got killed already from people's aggravations of your smartness. If everybody's opposite of you, meaning you're extremely wise, so most people gonna be opposite of that. I'm gonna disturb them just cause you wise. Period. Just like they dumb gonna disturb you, and that you would have got killed already. Would have beat you up or something. You get my point? And so, wisdom. I wouldn't go backwards. I wouldn't give it up, but it's a balanced thing like anything, And that ignorance is bliss, meaning there's a lot of pleasures in y'all ignorance. And once y'all know better, so you get my point, take away a little bit of the fun in regards to whatever you're doing that you shouldn't be, maybe. And that you get my point. Enjoy y'all ignorance while y'all have it. Take y'all time getting wise. You ain't gotta rush it. Look at it like that. Like I said before, when I said I come on here and I just say anything I want. Like, not curse and shit. Nobody told me the rules. It's not wrong until I know the rules. I can't do wrong because I don't know what that is. Like that. You gotta take advantage of ignorance. It's bliss. A little baby could run around. An infant could kill somebody. Nobody will hold them to it because they like, man, they was just born last week. I don't even know how they was able to do that. Ignorance is bliss. You can get away with a lot of things when you ignorant, but once you know better, that right there gonna stop you. Some of y'all used to be shooters when you was a teenager. You clap anybody. Now you old and you ain't got it in you no more. But it ain't you ain't got it in you no more. You just know better. Meaning you suffered all of that shit and you know better now. You like, yeah, that lead to that and I ain't going through that again. Life is a balance, the good and the ugly. And you like, I ain't dealing with the ugly that come with that good. And that, you get it? You find your balance and you make it do what it do. Now my hour in, let's get to this Vimoksha, the freeing of the self from, the dark night, unconsciousness. If any of y'all want to give back, make sure y'all do. That way I can leave this video up public. If you're new here, I'm not a priest, a preacher, none of that. This is not church. I'm a scholar. I explain ancient scholarships in real time. I explain ancient artwork and many different things. And it's like art. I should have a museum, but I'm saying that so you can fix your perspective. A lot of y'all kind of think like I'm a preacher or something like that. And that you like, well, I need to give back. Lord, I'm a suit and a briefcase type of fella. I don't know nothing about no gowns, you feel me? I don't see Big Uzi in no nightgown. with a white sticker, right? Got the white little cardboard right there. Good on that, blood. You got any silk shirts back there? This is why I couldn't be a preacher. They gave me the cheap suit that preachers be wearing. I said, y'all ain't got no silk shirts back there. This was back in the Hebrew class. You know, the Hebrews dress like bums. They wear recycled leather, basketball leather, old Timberland boots. They just take the top of the Timberland boot off and make a headband out of it. Dusty shit. And get your polyester wool. Your polyester wool. You like, y'all ain't got no silk butters back there. Like, it's the cheap stuff. I'm just playing if you a Hebrew. I like bothering y'all. I like children. Y'all get mad and emotional. They go to their forums and be talking about me. We hate Solace. He's the devil. I enjoy it. Y'all are such fun. Now, let's get to this deep. Peace and wisdom, Joshua Northern. Welcome aboard. Salami. In Hinduism, you have Vimoksha. This is liberation from samsara. Like I said, samsara is the never-ending cycle of life and death. But not on a life and death level y'all know of. We talking every day. Y'all go into unconscious death, where y'all lose sight of who y'all are, what's what. Y'all got kids, anything concerning life. And then y'all pulled out of that by the Savior. Or the God over, life and death. I suppose y'all call this Jesus in Christianity. But Jesus is just a mockery of this force I'm speaking of. This force ain't beat up and on no cross. This force ain't physical. They just control and govern over all the physical, when they go in and come out. It's like the comer and the goer. Controller. It's like it say about the devil. He the light bringer. The devil is the darkness, but he bring forth the light. Like how y'all unconsciousness, y'all spring from that in the morning. To bring God the day. In Hinduism, like I said, you have samsara, that never-ending cycle of life and death. And so when the soul is dead and, reached the last stage of, that death, the soul has to acquire Vimoksha or nirvana. It's one and the same. But Vimoksha is the way to nirvana. Nirvana is the never-ending realms, the realm of never-ending bliss and pleasures. Vimoksha is the way to it. Like I said, Vimoksha is the blowing out, which is to say liberation, freedom, from the physical. And all the dualities y'all know of, like awake and sleep, night and day, the tide coming in, the tide going out, These never-ending cycles that keep, us bound. Now, in order for you to grasp Vimoksha, I gotta explain to y'all the biology of the soul. And I'm gonna use Hinduism. In Hinduism, you have... Oh, that's my sister. I'm gonna call her back. In Hinduism, you have what's known as Jiva, Atman, or just Jiva and Atman. And this is the word or the name that they use for the soul, meaning everybody's soul, even the solar body that we live in, it has a soul. It has a Jiva Atman. This is the source of the life, so to say. Is the soul more powerful outside the body than inside the body? Is there any difference? No. Soul is the soul. The thinking thing. The thing that comes and goes, goes unconscious and pops back in. Even when you in unconsciousness, you might pop into a dream. That's you becoming awake. The soul is that. The soul is the sound. The voice. The senses. The soul is all of that. And so, Peace and wisdom, Joshua Northern. I'm on the job, champ. There you go. The soul is everything for the most part. Now, in Hinduism, they refer to the soul as the Jiva Atman, or one or the other. Now, I'm explaining to y'all how to acquire Vimoksha. Remember, this is something that the soul must acquire when it's dead and, lost in its darkness. You have to free itself from it. So look at it like every day y'all are raised up out of y'all unconsciousness back into awake. Even if you brought into a dream, but you get my point? That's all examples, daily examples of an unseen force showing you what you must do for yourself when the time comes. This time is, when you die and you at the last stages of that death. And dying ain't an instant thing, just like y'all life ain't an instant thing. And it's a process. It's a process of a body decomposing. Death is a process. And that, you get my point, if you think death is just, you're high. But death is a process. Last stage of it, you get my point. The soul is bound to its darkness, probably freaking out. It has to acquire Vimoksha. It's this liberation or the blowing out, freedom. In order for y'all to grasp that, y'all have to understand the soul, like the biology of it. And so, like I said, in Hinduism, the soul is called the Jiva Atman. Now, the Jiva or the Jiva, this is the breath. Meaning, the Jiva is the soul, but it's referred to as the breath. The indestructible, basically God. The Jiva. The Atman is the pure consciousness. The witness conscious. When it say pure consciousness or the witness consciousness, when y'all are witnessing something and y'all have no judgment, just observing whatever you see, maybe it's new. You don't know how to think of it like that. This is when y'all go in Atman mode. When y'all have no judgment, no ego, y'all are just completely aware and in awe of whatever you see. Say, what you think of that? I don't think nothing. I'm watching still. You get it? Like that. I don't think nothing. I don't have nothing to think. It's just, I see. And I know what I see. Y'all have judgment. It starts to interfere with what y'all see. Y'all have past experience. Y'all see, then y'all start seeing y'all past experience. It interferes with the present. Your last boyfriend like your new boyfriend, but they only got little small things alike. Overall, they completely different, and this is the guy for you. But you see that one little thing and you get it, that curved your whole perspective now. You say, no, he just like him. Like that. You have to learn to, not let your scars, change your course. Look at your bad experiences as somebody trying to drop kick the shit out of you off the path. Like, just walking down your path, your glory's up ahead. Here comes a goofy, he just comes double foot kicking you, like that. I know that was harsh, but if you view it like that, then you get it. Like, okay, I just minding my business, walking my journey of life, and you get it. Here come a problem. Here come like that. So just keep everything on the up and up as far as gone. Peace and wisdom. Y'all silly. Now, you have the Jiva Atman, both the soul, but different aspects of it. One is the breath and the life force of all existence, and the other is the witness or the pure consciousness of it. Now, if y'all close y'all eyes and breathe, don't control the breathing. Just let the breath flow on its own, because y'all can't control it anyway. If y'all try not to breathe, you get my point? You'll probably start gagging or pass out. But just let y'all breath go on its own, in and out. I don't want you to focus on the air coming in your nose and out of it, or in your mouth and out of it. I want you to focus on the pulsating force right here that it's coming from. If you close your eyes, this is what meditation is all about. You know how I be telling y'all don't know nothing about meditation. Y'all just be sitting still doing nothing. This real meditation. Sit still, close the eyes, and focus on the jiva. You follow? But I don't want to go too much into that because y'all know everything already. I pay your dues. You get it? But focus on the pulsating force in the core or in your solar plex area. It's coming from the heart area. The pulsating force. You can detect where it's coming from if you're focused on it. That's the source of the inhale and exhale. Meaning the inhale, exhale breath that y'all sucking in and out, the air y'all sucking in and out, that's not the jiva. That's a result of the jiva. The jiva's the soul, the indestructible aspect of the soul. You get it? And the breath. That's why it's referred to as the breath. It's not to say it is the inhale and exhale, but it's the source or the reason for that happening. When a person dies, they stop inhaling and exhaling because the jiva is gone. The jiva will always pulsate in that way. Meaning if you focus on that pulsating force coming from your core, well, like I said, that's the jiva, or what Hindus call the jiva, which is the soul. That's your soul. And that's the most powerful force in existence. You follow? And every duality you see in life is an extension of that force that's within you. That force that's within you and within me, meaning that jiva, that breath, that pulsating thing, is everywhere. We live inside the solar system or the solar body. It has a jiva. This is why you see the sunrise and set or the consciousness of the solar body go up and down. This is why you see the tide come in and go out here. That pulsating force, that in and out, is the source of all ups and downs and ins and outs. This is the tide coming in. We talking the river. The tide come in and go out. Y'all say, what's controlling that? The jiva, the soul of the solar body. In regards to your body, what's controlling you go unconscious and then awake? That pulsating force in your core, that's the jiva, the soul. It blinks in and out like a twinkling star. But you get it? It's the most powerful force. Some of y'all can feel it. Meaning if you challenge it, you'll feel it. It'll challenge you back. Hold your breath. Interfere with your jiva and watch what happens. You're going to be like, oh, my chest hurting. I got to breathe. I'm going to pass out like that. You can't challenge the jiva. That's the most powerful force in life. It's the source of the raising of the consciousness and it kind of descending. It's the source of all duality in life that you know. That's the ether. Look at that shit as the gas being pumped. Vroom, vroom. Ain't nothing in existence more powerful than that. That's why I said they view that as God. That's everywhere in everything that have life. Then you have the Atman. This is the awareness of that. So for those of y'all that did take a moment and close your eyes and focused on that pulsating force in your core, in that moment you had no judgment. You was just witnessing. That's the Atman. Meaning you're the Atman and the Jiva is the pulsation part of the soul. And every individual is the Atman that is the witness to that Jiva. Meaning the Jiva and the Atman are one, but different aspects of the thing. The Jiva's not self-aware, it's just the source of all being. The Atman is the awareness of it. Think of in John 1 when it say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the same was in the beginning with God. Then you go down a few verses and it say, John was bear witness of the light. He was not that light, but he was there to bear witness of it. It's like that. When you close your eyes, focus on the Jiva. You like John. You're not that light, but you here to bear witness of it. And that you with it. You eternal with it. Damn, I have to use the bathroom. But like I said, you're eternal with it. So, but you're its witness, its counterpart, if that makes sense. Meaning you're something greater than the jiva. The jiva is the source of all life in regards to the physical and the death part of it, the spiritual. But you're before and after it. The witness have to be present in the moment. It's like in the Bible would say, in the beginning, the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters alone. Now, who was the witness of this happening that was able to document it? The Atman. You get it? And it's speaking of the Jiva. But, as sperm cell going to the egg cell of the body. But you get my point? Levels. And so, in Hinduism, when they say the Jiva Atman and they say that that's what the soul is, they're speaking from that perspective, meaning in real life, a real guru of Hinduism would explain it to you like this. In real time, the Jiva Atman, you would know all of that, but you wouldn't know what it is pertaining to self or real life and try and figure it out. They'd be able to tell you like I just told you. When you close your eyes, you breathe that pulsating force, that's the Jiva. And you see the sunrise and set, that's the Jiva's expressions of itself. When you breathe in and out, that's the Jiva. In that, you grasp the Jiva's everything. It's God over the existence. Remove the Jiva, you get my point? Y'all be gone. Then you have the other aspect of that. And you say, what's the other aspect of that Jiva? You see how you can close your eyes and focus on it? And the longer you do, you start to black everything out in the physical. Like that. Everything in the physical distracts y'all from the jiva, or it distracts y'all from being the pure awareness, the witness. In that, y'all don't understand self or anything truly happening around y'all. It starts with that force. That's why I said when y'all meditating, y'all truly ain't doing nothing. Y'all ain't starting at no true beginnings. But if any of y'all want to understand meditation the real way and get a real, a one-on-one lesson, of course, meditation is truly an individual thing. Nobody can't focus on your jiva but you. But everybody got a jiva, so you get my point, and all jivas is one, meaning that pulsating force that's within me and within you that make you breathe is everywhere. You follow? In that, ain't nobody losing nothing. But if you want to learn it for real, email upscaleknowledge@gmail.com. Like I said, those of y'all that's in attendance, if you haven't given back, please do. My links is in the description. Now, everything in life is distracting you as the Atman from being the pure awareness. The pure awareness have no judgment, perspective, or anything. So if you focused on that breathing or that pulsating force within your core, in that moment, you can be aware of yourself, being aware of the happening of it. In that, you can grasp all the way what they mean by the Atman when they say the Atman is the witness conscious. It's saying how you have that ability where you can focus in on yourself and just be aware and witness and see with no judgment or no lower emotions put on the self, but just witness the self. Now, this soul that you are, this Jiva Atman, this is what got to be freed from the never-ending cycles of life and death. Now, what most don't know is the never-ending cycle of life and death, which is samsara. Its source is the Jiva, meaning the Atman, or the pure consciousness that you are, it's bound to the Jiva. So bound it forgot it even there. And that I tell you, you know that pulsating force in your core, you say, oh, I never even knew that. But I pay attention to it now that you said it like that. You so used to it you didn't even pay it any mind. But do you get my point? That is samsara, or what bounds the soul to its never-ending cycles. Like I said, the jiva, that in and out pulsating force, is the source of all ups and downs, ins and outs. I said your consciousness and unconscious mind, the sun rising and setting, the tide coming in and going out. Again, your conscious and unconscious mind. Remember, samsara is the never-ending cycle of life and death. Y'all go unconscious and then back conscious again. That inhale, exhale, or that pulsating force in your core that causes you to inhale and exhale, that's the reason for that. Going unconscious and coming back awake. Meaning the unconsciousness in the conscious space that you as an awareness ping pong in between, it sources that pulsating force within you. You're bound to it on that level. So you say, I'm going to escape the never-ending cycle of life and death. It's on you. You follow? It's a part of your soul. You can't shake it. You can, but do you get my point? That's how far down it go. Meaning this go way beyond the physical. Samsara, so to say. The jiva in samsara is truly one. The atman have to be freed from its jiva, that pulsating force, which is the source of its life and death, or it's going on and off. It's bound to the jiva. The jiva pulsates in that way. In that, it make the atman do that. The atman, which is the pure consciousness, have to free itself from the jiva. Now, during the course of the life, the atman develops an anturana. The anturana in Hinduism is the inner instrument. So this is speaking of your mind. Your mind is the inner instrument. Your voice is a sound that's coming from your mind. In that, the mind is the instrument and your voice is the sound coming from it. So they call the mind an inner instrument because your minds ain't nothing but your voice. You get it? When y'all speaking, y'all are speaking the thoughts or words in your mind. In that, the mind ain't nothing but thoughts and words or sounds that have no vessel to manifest out of. In that, the anturana is the mind of the soul. Or the atman is the pure consciousness. And the anturana is, you get it? The anturana has 4 parts. The ahamkara, the buddhi, the manas, and the chitta. The anturana, or the inner instrument, which is the mind, it has 4 parts. The ahamkara is the I maker, or the ego. This is what makes you an individual. See things from your own eye, our own individual perspective, separate from the next person. Outside of that, we all the same in the jiva. We all the same as the atman, meaning just pure awareness, no judgment. If I'm looking at something and you looking at something and we both ain't judging the thing but just observing it to know it, I suppose we both know the same thing. But you got your experience and I got mine. And that when we see one thing, the ego mess it up. Or the I maker, the individual, he see through his experience. Not what he necessarily see, but he see through his experience. And that we both see different things even though we looking at the same thing. That's the ahamkara, or the I maker, the ego. That's one of the 4 parts of the anturana, which is the mind, or the inner instrument. The buddhi, buddhi. This is the intellect, the higher thought. When y'all get thought to like, first you have to have the ego or the I before you can start to think of yourself being high or above something. Whether it's where you were yesterday, the next person, in order for you to even have that mind, the ego, the I. So that's first. From there you have the higher intellect or the Buddha. Then you have the manners. This is the lower intellect. This is when y'all think with, y'all emotional states in y'all lower parts. More instinctive mind, not the intellectual mind when you sit and ponder on the thing. Use your past experiences and things the right way. The manners will be the lower mind when you let your past experience cloud your better judgment and you get it, you more instinctive thinking and just doing things you know you shouldn't. Moving off lust and things of that nature. And then you have the chitta. This is the memory. What the consciousness sees and decides to hold on to, like dirty laundry. And so the Atman becomes blinded by the anturana or its four parts, meaning the Atman develops an ego, a higher intellect, a lower intellect, and a memory. His memory do the most damage. Y'all memory is what keep y'all in the past. It interfere with y'all moving forward in the present. And that y'all future become y'all past because it's in the mind in the present. The point I'm making is the Atman is the pure awareness or pure consciousness. The antakarana, which is the ego, the higher intellect, the lower intellect, and the memory, this what have to be conquered for the Atman or the pure consciousness that you are to kind of like reign. Right now, you have the ego in the way. So you see how I say close your eyes and focus on that pulsating force. Some of y'all said, I ain't wasting my time. Like that. The ego interfering. Some of y'all said, no, I did it and I felt it. Like that. In that moment, you put the ego to the side. You was just the Atman focused on whatever was being shown to you. And grasping like, oh, I get it, what he's saying. It's the Atman, right? I mean, that's the Jiva. Like that. The Atman is the pure consciousness. It has the ability to grasp and know everything in existence, but it is blocked by the ego, the higher intellect, the lower intellect, and the memory. You follow? In that, we have to conquer the ego or the individual perspective to see the broader picture. We have to conquer our memories because most people's memories is full of negative things. And a few positive things here and there they may hold on to. You live out the positive so you don't hold on to it so much. You think of the negative so you hold on to that because that's the only way you can actually live it out. Whatever negative things transpire with y'all, they just a quick flash of a moment. But y'all hold on to it to make it of equal measure of whatever good experience you had, which was an actual doing, an actual event. An actual occurrence that lasted a time. And y'all bad moments don't measure up to that. Let's say you got shot. That was a flash of a moment. However long you held on to it's on you. Like that. Let's say you fell in love with that girl. That happened in a flash of a moment too. You can't say the moment you fell in love, but it lasted. It was a real experience for you that lasted. And your getting shot was just a flash of the moment, and whatever you chose to hold on from it, that was on you. And that you more likely to remember getting shot than all the people you fell in love with. Why? Because you lived that out. You was fulfilled by that, but you still ain't come to terms with that flash of a moment. Like that, people carry around their bad experiences because it really ain't nothing. If they don't hold it in mind, then it don't be nothing. Say, so why do they hold on to it? So this is the point of life. Like, why? Why y'all do things to yourselves that y'all do? Man say, I don't know. Lost into society, blood, I don't know. I ain't thinking nothing. Gotta go to work, I'm busy. I don't got time to deal with myself right now. This is most of y'all actions. Maybe not the thoughts you said, but the actions follow that. You ain't got time for yourself. You got to get your money and pay your bills, and you got other shit to focus on. And that, you get it, men die all messed up. And that is death take longer than it need. And passing through it, so to say. You get all tangled up in his own self, the same way you do in the physical. We all our own problem. We get so tangled up in our own self. And the many aspects of ourselves. And that, it starts to interfere. And so, in Hinduism, you have to shed the anturana, which is that four-parted thing I told you about, the inner instrument. The ahamkara, which is the ego. The buddhi, which is the higher intellect. The chitta are the manas, which is the lower intellect. And the chitta, which is the memory. You as the Atman or pure awareness is blinded by that in the outer world. You have to shed those things one by one, meaning you have to shed the memory first at some point, then your lower intellect, then your higher intellect. This would make you think you better than people and things like that. This would make you lose sight of who God truly is. So you say, I worship Jesus, Solace. I worship Allah. You overlook none of these things you just made up control when you go unconscious and raise you out of it. That's a real presence that's with you. And it ain't tell you to call it those names. You got those names from outside of self. You don't call God anything. You follow? God is the pulsating force within self, the force that pull you up out of unconsciousness and back into life. Same force that'll push your ass into unconsciousness if that's where you need to be. The judger of the quick and the dead. Everything y'all heard of Osiris and Jesus, basically. The judger of the quick and the dead. He who have the keys to death and Hades or life and death. All those references that y'all got to those gods with names is speaking of that force within y'all. It have no name. Its name is y'all. Its name is you. Whatever your name is. So God come as you. And that when y'all call, God, Jesus, or this thing or that thing, say he beat up hanging on the cross, it's a blasphemy, it's a disrespect. It's a disrespect to the self-in God that's within self. You follow? God the Jiva, you the Atman. You're speaking God over the physical. Whether you want to view it as the devil or whatever God you got, God over the physical. Now, as the Atman or the pure consciousness, we have to shed the anturana or those four parts of the mind, one by one though, starting with the memory, then the lower conscious, then the higher conscious, then last the ego. The ego is the perspective. You being able to have whatever perspective that you choose to have. Right now, you're hearing this truth, but you could choose to say, I don't like Solace, so whatever he say, I don't believe it all the way. Even though it make perfect sense to you and you do get it, maybe you ain't even listening enough, so you do get it. I say give back. It's fair. It's balance. I'm saying giving back like that. You can control your perspective even when it's wrong. You can do whatever you want. That's what the ego is. The eye maker. You separate yourself from the next person. In that, you're going to put self first. In that, everybody in life is willing to fuck everybody over in life. But none of the eyes, because they're all lost in their ego, are not aware of that. Meaning y'all all in y'all ego are y'all I. So now y'all in groups of eyes. You gonna die for the group? Or would you sacrifice the group for self if it came to that? All the eyes will sacrifice the person next to them if it came to that. But they all, you get it? So lost in their ego, they forget, oh, blood will throw me under the bus if it came to him over me. He an individual or an I. It's going to always be about him. He don't view us as the same. In that, some of y'all will throw y'all mama daddy under the bus to save yourself. Anybody. But that has not been acknowledged yet. To acknowledge that is to come face to face with the ego. From there is to conquering it. In that, most of y'all will run away from what I just said and say, I don't got time to deal with that. You don't want to come face to face with the ego and say, damn, he right. Because I'm lost in my ego, all my snakes is around me. Because we are the same. We all individuals. We haven't seen beyond our own perspective or whatever perspective is given to us that we choose to take. In that, do you get my point? It's like a bunch of criminals. They say there's no honor amongst thieves, but the thieves overlook that, damn, the nigga that I'm stealing with is a thief. And probably when we finish stealing, he gonna steal from me. In that, you get it? Some of y'all say, yeah, I'm not a thief, so that's the first thing I thought of. But the thief don't think about that because he lost in his ego. We gonna steal. And I'm gonna get all my stealing buddies to steal with me, overlooking, damn, they thieves. Maybe after we steal, they all turn on me and steal it all from me. And then slowly, one by one, steal each other's share until there's just one thief left with all the spoils. And this is how that go. You get it? It's not gonna go no other way because nobody gonna put nobody else before them. The one thief gonna think that the other thief is gonna thief him, so he gonna thief him first. The one killer gonna kill the other killer because he say, I know this nigga kill and I ain't gonna let him kill me first. But all the killers hang together and all the thieves hang together. And their ego let them be blind, they just kill each other off. And they there the whole time, never becoming aware. Let me separate myself. This don't even make sense. I'm a thief. They're all thieves. We're useless. Worse than that, we gonna become each other's victims as we're thieving. And two killers go kill together, then the one get nervous of the other and say, I think he gonna tell, so let me kill him. The other one think the same. Shit, what if he tell and get caught? The two killers kill each other now because you get it. Ain't no honor amongst thieves. If you kill somebody, you stealing their life. That make you a thief. That's why they say if you'll steal, you'll kill. Because killing is the pinnacles of stealing. You can't steal nothing higher than somebody's life. There is no murder. It's just stealing. Nothing else. If you killed somebody, you went to jail for murder. You went to jail for the pinnacles of stealing. You stole what can't be returned and what wasn't yours to take. Like that. Ain't no murder. That's just the word they use for a kingpin thief. This is a killer. Somebody who steals lives. It's a deep thing. Yeah, like the joke in Batman. Salam, shalom. Intellect versus intelligence. Same thing, champ. The daytime, y'all like to make a lot of things, different things, and y'all wind up dumbing yourselves out, but it's all simple. And so the Atman has to free itself, lastly, from the Ahamkara, which is the ego. From there, the Atman can be the pure awareness. This can happen in the physical life while you're still aware. I guess you could say in perspective, I conquered my ego and all these things. This is why I'm able to see, and grasp and explain as I do. This has nothing to do with the outer world or their perspective of you. You get it? Some of y'all say, no, I think you lost in your ego still. This don't have nothing to do with nobody outside of you. You'll know when you get it? And they'll know too from, how deep your mind is in comparison to how it was before. I'm explaining things y'all would never know, but it makes sense to y'all because y'all do have experience and everything I'm talking about. Like that. Where like, nah, that person is extremely wise beyond what's normal. He's explaining to us our soul in death right now and I understand everything he's saying. I actually have the experience already. Like that. When you get there where you could, explain things that ain't seen, but a person still grasp it because they know. You don't gotta see, you get it? What's known. You just gotta see what's not known. And so it's a deep thing. Like I said, anyone wants to give back, please do. Now, the Atman, which is the pure awareness, it has to, you know, conquer the ego last. And this can be done in the physical. But in regards to your being a soul that's dead in the last stage, so you get it, these things will still plague you. Meaning your memory, your lower consciousness, your lust and your urges, your higher intellect, your arrogance and things of that, your confidence, and your ego, your own individual perspective. So let's say maybe you dead as a soul trapped in your darkness and you don't like it. But you didn't have a problem when you was alive and awake and able to do what you want. But now on the flip side of life, which is you being free to do you, now you bound and trapped in darkness. Now you got a problem with it. And it's your ego that's causing that problem. Not you looking at the whole perspective and saying, well, I did have life and I was free to move about and now I'm bound in darkness, dead. Fair balance. And I take my burden, you get it? High is the cost for life, so I pay my cost. You might say, fuck that, I'm mad, I want to get out of here. You're going to be stuck there till you shed your ego or your own individual perspective, which only serve you and nothing else. And that, all die. Think of it like this, y'all lost in y'all lower self. Christians. Y'all say God gonna die for y'all sins, but y'all also acknowledge that y'all God is the life. They'll tell you Jesus is the life and the way to it. But this life gonna die for their sins. If the life die, you have no life. They too ignorant and lost into their self. Something's gonna die and save them, and that's all they care about. In that, they don't never think, hold on. If life died for me, then there's no life for me or nobody else. And that it don't even make no sense. I might as well die for my own sins then and let the life just keep on life. And again, they acknowledge their God is life. I apologize. I don't know how that happened. I don't even know where I was out at. But I was explaining to y'all like how Christians, let me know, put up a number one if y'all heard everything I was saying about, you know, the Christians and how they lost in their ego. So they say like God gonna die for them, even though that's a blasphemy. Okay, Philip Heyman, you said y'all heard. And so I was explaining how the ego have to be shed. When you're dealing with Christianity, they get lost in their ego, which is serving their own self. And they overlook that they're saying that God is going to die for them. They acknowledge that God is life. But they say that life is going to die for them. If life going to die for any individual or a bunch of individuals, then what happens to life? Because we live that. Christian ain't begin to think on that, because you get my point. They're lost in their ego, in that they can serve death and be promised some lie and overlook it because they're lost in their own ego or self. In that they say, no, Silas, God gonna die for us. have to charge my mic. Like I said, I have to charge my mic. But this is okay. So now we got a part 3. I still haven't got a chance to get to Vimoksha and Nirvana and how y'all get there. But I'm an hour and 50 minutes in. I don't think y'all gave back so much. Some of y'all did that already did though. Those of y'all that gave back, you don't have to overdo it. That's not what this is about. But you get it. Kind of all of y'all, you know, at one time or another, you know, give back is the point. Not, you know, the same repeated people being abused to give back. It's not. And so just give back fairly. Meaning if you gave back last video, like I said, daily, weekly, monthly, however you choose, but you don't have to give back every video. If a nice amount of y'all give back every video, so then I'll be balanced. And you get it? Those of y'all that don't, you next time. And that, those that gave back that day, they relieved, and you get my point? It all balances out. It's not about me coming here and getting all I could get. Life is long. Y'all just have to be balanced and fair. You get my point? A nice amount of y'all in here. Y'all could see how many people in here. Yeah, let's step back. But I'm going to do a part 3. Peace and wisdom. Like I said, my mic died. I'm assuming y'all can still hear me now, though, but I have to speak louder. That burns me out faster. So the mic do help. I'm able to talk real low. So I probably sound a little dead to some of y'all sometimes now. But it's because of that I'm able to talk lower. I ain't got to like raise my voice so much. But I'll come back and explain, you know, where I left off at, which is basically explaining the anturana and the 4 parts of this anturana. This is the mind, or the inner instrument. That was the ego, the higher conscious, the lower conscious, and the memory. Once you shed that, you get my point, you can see clearly or grasp things clearly. From there, you must free yourself from samsara, or that darkness that I explained also is going to be lost in 4 time until you get it. They reach for moksha. Peace and wisdom, Lion Zion. Yeah, I already know I'm a legend, man. And the myth, y'all get to see it in real time. That's not on ego either. Any of y'all been following my works, you get it? I done broke down things. Fuck a Socrates can't even fuck with me, you get my point? I done broke down too many things at this point where you could see it in real time. You either grasp it in real time or you could see it through the images. But you get it? Y'all witnessing the legend in real time. 50, 100 years from now, might be talking about me like Tupac. Me and Tupac might be the same person. 100 years from now, they just merged the 2 things together. They say Tupac came back as this dude named Silas Blade God. People in life is retarded like that. Y'all see things like that transpiring right before y'all lives now. You get my point? So be thankful y'all witness, you know. Y'all witness it on your long times and y'all ain't got to hear from me. Thank you to those that's giving back. I appreciate it. Hopefully the rest of y'all do as well. But like I said, it's good for those of y'all that get to witness me firsthand. You ain't got to hear about me. Because you get it? That's when narratives get changed. That's when, you know, 100 years from now, I'll probably be a part of Christianity. They won't have a Jesus no more. They'll have a solace, and I'll be that real life thing that they use to make it real, you know? And I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just a wise ass scholar. I'm just a man who, you get it? You could say in perspective, reached a physical moksha. Reached sentient level of understanding things. But the treasurer said, I don't know how you acquired all this wisdom, but I'm glad I found you. Salam, shalom. Find me, find yourself. There's the true glory. You get my point? And use me to find yourself. It's not about you finding me. It's good for me that you found me. You a channel member, you fair with me, you give back, and that you care about my livelihood and me staying alive and being well so you can get the wisdom. And that is better I met you. It's only good for you that you met me so you find you. You get my point? Or it's only good you found me so you find yourself. And you get my point? From there you could serve the life as I do. And you get my point? I'll let the living and the life be balanced with you moving forward. And you deal with that. And you can deal with all that madness. It's a deep thing. Now I'm about to depart. Like I said, when I return, I'm going to explain how the soul acquires Vimoksha when it reaches that last stage of death, so to say. And it's the deep part. And the first part of the video was just me giving y'all a clarity so y'all can understand this scholarship I was just explaining to y'all, this Hinduism, because y'all wouldn't understand nothing I was talking about. And this scholarship that I'm explaining to y'all right now is going to help y'all to grasp the reality that I'm going to tell y'all in regards to y'all freeing yourselves from the darkness. There's no scholarship. Everything after this is just reality pertaining to yourself. So you get my point? You don't know everything I'm saying because it's just going to be about you. But this is what you're going to need to do to free yourself from that state. You know, that last stage of death when you lost in your darkness. You know, it's easy, but it's not. It says easy if I tell you, give whoever you hate the most. Like whoever you feel like did you the most dirt or whatever you hold on to the most that bothers you. Leave it go right now. Ain't nothing easier than that. You literally could do that easy, but you won't. You say, no, Solace, fuck that. Fuck him, Solace. That's how y'all think. Nah, fuck him, Solace. All you gotta do is shake his hand, her hand, and let it go. No, I'm not. That's how hard it is. Meaning the soul's lost in its darkness. All it has to do is a simple thing to free itself from its darkness. But most souls won't. If you say, like, why? If it's so easy, why won't they? Same way in real life, y'all won't free yourselves from y'all hate and y'all anger. Cause y'all say, no, I don't like that person and I'm gonna hold on to my bitterness until it eats me alive. The easiest thing you could do for yourself is forget about it, but at the same time, it's the hardest thing to do. And the polar opposite things. The easiest thing for you to do is the hardest thing for you to do. But it's all on which side you want to view it from. You follow? The easiest thing for you to do become the hardest thing for you to do, become the hardest things in life you try to do to avoid the easiest thing. Most people live that reality now and don't even realize it. They're taking on and doing all the hardest things they can to get where they want to go, but they're doing it that way because they're avoiding something simple, but they have too much pride. So they like, no, fuck that. I'm going this route about things. And you get my point? It could be a relationship, business, anything you could think of, but most people going to do things the hard way because the easiest things is the hardest things to do. And so I'm going to explain it on part 3. Hopefully y'all all grasp. If any of y'all got questions, ask before I depart. I'll make sure I bring some ego next video. I left my ego somewhere, I don't know where. I was lacking ego this video. I can't find it right now, but maybe I'll find some of it for the next video. Because I know y'all like when I bring the ego. Those of y'all that like it. Those of y'all that's envious so you don't like it, but it's all in good fun and growth. Try and grasp. Now I'm departing. Let me answer this question. If any of y'all have questions, you can ask them now before I depart. You said, when is the meditation retreat for the members? When is the meditation retreat for the members? Not sure what you're saying, but maybe I need to look over my membership. Peace and wisdom, Javi Uchi. Uchi coochie la la la. I know it don't say that, but it's something like that. And so, like I said, y'all can do a one-on-one meditation session if you want. Maybe get yourself a yoga mat or something soft to sit on. You don't need a yoga mat. It could be a pillow, maybe that you like. Not too fluffy, something you can keep your back erect. You want to make sure the back is erect, the spine is nice and straight, and the head is straight. You get my point? A lot of people don't realize there be a little tilt and things, and a little slouch in their posture. This could distort the clarity of the mind. Meaning you're being like this, on your head being straight. Well, you could try it right now on your own. Change your thought a little bit. Or the way you're thinking, or the projection of the thought. It's just like if you got something covering your head and you have your head out. It's a difference. When you gotta have a hoodie on, you take the hoodie off, you feel halfway naked. That hoodie has almost become, a cloak to you. You feel damn near naked without it. That's not good. Nothing supposed to cover the crown. You get my point? And cover the crown, you throw yourself in a darkened state. You get my point? And that always let the crown breathe. You get my point? I ain't saying you can't wear a hoodie or a hat, but you want to free the crown at some point. Make sure you ain't, you know, imbalanced in your doings. Other than that, you put yourself in a darkened state, not even realizing it. Some of y'all on hoodie season, it ain't hoodie season. And I ain't talking about you wearing hoodies, but I'm just talking about your nature. You on hoodie season time. And it's because you always got the head covered and the face covered. And you get my point? Light and all other things chemically react with your soul. It changes the vibration or the light of the soul, making it dim or bright. You have to remember y'all come awake or light and y'all go dark or unconscious. And this is the pinnacles of on and off, but there's many different levels of light in between on and off. And this is y'all emotional state. You know those lights in between awake and off, or on and off. You get my point? And so it's a deep thing. The treasurer said, is it the mind that carries memory or the brain? The brain is physical like the body. Mind ain't got nothing to do with the physical. The brain is just the switchboard for the body. Whatever the mind thinks, the part of the brain reacts to whatever part of the body the mind is thinking of. So if you think to get up and walk, your mind is thinking I want to go. When your body's moving, it's because the brain is like the medium between the soul and the vessel. Remember, your soul or your mind is not physical. Your brain is like nasty, squishy, gooey liquid. It's in between physical and unphysical. Your brain is not solid. Your skull is solid. Your skull is solid, but your brain is fluid, like silly putty. It's like Ninja Turtle slime. Silly putty too thick. The brain is like Ninja Turtle ooze. The brain is like seminal fluid. A yolky thing. But that's in between solid and unseen, unphysical. And so you get it? The brain is the medium between the physical body and the unseen soul or mind. And that the mind thinks something, it activates an area of the brain which controls a physical limb or digit of some sort. And it all happens simultaneously. They in accords with one another. The soul inside the spirit. The brain is like the spirit or the substancy part of self. And you get it? The spirit is inside the vessel or the matter. And the one thing bounding the other. It's a deep thing. Now the second part of your question, you said, how come people with Alzheimer's don't remember much when their brain has issues? Said, how come people with Alzheimer's don't remember much when their brain has issues? I don't see what the brain have to do with anything you said. You get my point? The brain and the mind. The brain is a result of the mind. The mind is like airs. Airs of different temperatures. Cool air meets warm air, you get liquid. That liquid becomes thick and yolky over the course of time. So the mind and its thinking is what creates the brain, which is like a gooey substance. And that in turn, you know, kind of calluses over time, creating the bones and the matter. The matter before the bone, of course. The air, liquid, clay. You get my point? Air, liquid, thicker liquid like mud, clay like flesh, and then solid is after. But you get it? The mind create the whole vessel, trap its own self in it in perspective. The mind being like airs. You have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. This is two opposite airs. You make for liquid. Same way you see water fall out the side. Same way you see snot and tears fall out your nose and all of that. Your thinking mind is creating water non-stop. Sometimes that water is salty when y'all have negative thoughts. You get it? When you're crying salty tears, this is coming from within you. You're turning your water salty. You keep carrying on, those salty tears become salty, thick snot, yolky. Once they become solid, then you sick. You made yourself sick. You get my point? You're changing your vibration. In that, you're changing the states of the waters. But the mind is doing this. Y'all think and y'all manifest waters. If the thought is pure and clear, the waters manifest inside of self as such. It's the same when y'all hear outer noise. It comes in, it mixes with y'all mind, which is airs, just like the sound y'all hear is airs, and it makes for substance. Over time, that substance becomes salty and thick or not, and you get my point. From there, it become clay, like all the matter inside of you, your heart, your liver, all of these things is clay-like, and the bone is like solid. But the mind never stopped doing what it do, so water and fluid never stopped getting created, if that makes sense. So, you get my point. The body become hardened, and the fluid is still created, and it still become hardened and thickened over the course of its time, and you get my point. It just keeps going on and on. The mind of the soul keeps creating substance, spirit, so to say. King Court said, could I still get one-on-one even though we cursed each other out? I don't recall you cursing me out or me cursing you out. Unless you're the young guy that had a problem with me recording you. You can get a one-on-one, but you have to fix your perspective. I think you two lost into the streets or something. And that when you asking me why I recorded you, blood, you're not a criminal and you're not reaching out to me for no criminal activity, so you should never be asking me that. And I ain't playing no games with your voice or nothing, so you get my point. In that I say you probably lost into the streets, and that I know how y'all do in the daytime. Y'all get lost into the streets or talk on the streets, and then you start talking it even though you ain't that, not making sense in your own interactions. And so I'm the wisest man alive. If you do a one-on-one with me and I record it, it's just because someone else may have a question that you asked in a one-on-one. And so I'll give them like a snippet of my works. It really have nothing to do with you. And that, you get my point. Y'all names or nothing like that is up. Of course, if you speaking about something personal in your life, then I ain't recording that. If I do, I'll probably just erase it, because that don't have nothing to do with nothing. But if it's just, questions pertaining to like scholarship or anything like that, I might record it. Sometimes I don't. Usually I don't. Take up too much space, but you get it? Sometimes some of y'all have good minds, in that you ask good questions in the one-on-ones. On here, people ask the dumbest questions, and that y'all don't get nothing out of questions, really. And that if I give you a one-on-one, you ask some really good questions. So I might start recording because I'm like, you get it? These is good questions that others may have. They may be too scared to ask. And you get my point in that everybody can get the answer at once. But if you're that person I'm speaking of, court, just fix your mind and then you can continue getting one-on-ones. The price went up though, which y'all be getting on my nerves a little bit in one-on-ones. Y'all got the wrong perspective of me. That's why I keep telling a lot of y'all, whatever perspective you have of me, if it's right, then we shouldn't have no clash. If we having a clash, then that means something that you got of me in mind is inaccurate, and the clash is coming because you get it. I must be the opposite of whatever you think, and it's causing for like a clash, you know. Okay, that was you. Yeah, all you got to do is straighten out your perspective. Other than that, I don't hold on to things. Like I said, man, y'all come here to learn, and that, you get my point. I'm aware y'all still aggravated, and you know when y'all lower emotions, y'all gonna get frustrated fast and things like that. I don't hold on to it. It's just normal. But I ain't gonna let y'all just disrespect me. I'm gonna say something back, but other than that, I ain't holding on to nothing. A lot of y'all younger than me, man. It ain't for me to be holding on to shit for you. I treat y'all like my kids. I'm not gonna stay mad at my kids or nothing like that. You get it? I'm the adult here. When you not mad no more, then you can come talk to me. I know you childish, so you probably ain't gonna be able to just have an adult conversation straight through, acknowledge when you wrong, when you ain't, or whatever. So I deal with y'all like that, like my kids. They get mad. I don't antagonize. It'll be going back and forth with them. Some of y'all parents like that. They can go back and forth with you. I'm not doing that with you. I'll be over here chilling when you ready. Pull up, make sure your perspective's right. You get it? I'm your father. Get your brain all the way together, but I'm always open. And I did what y'all the same. Come in here wrong or you did the wrong thing, the door's still open for you. Just come right now. You get it? I ain't here to be going against you or challenging you, and I'm not if I already, put the time in that to help you a little bit. And we ain't stepping on our own work. That's anybody I've helped in life. I'm not stepping on my own work. You could just go your way and hold on to whatever you got. It should make you better than whatever you was. And anybody I ever came in contact with in life, anybody you could think of, they better than they was, like a lot better than they was. They probably was in bad shape when I kind of came across them, but that's what life is, and that's my work, and I don't be worried about the other stuff. You get it? My work's is real life. There's a lot of people in life that overlook that say, yeah, I remember when I first dealt with him, I was a bozo. I couldn't even feed myself. And you get it? They are right now, they better off than they would have been. And that's all that mattered to me. That's what I did it for. So you ain't got to be my burden no longer. And so anybody I ever help, wouldn't never compete with you. You my work. You're wasting my time competing with you. Get my point? It's competition and then it's just raising up and that be the work. You compete with me in that. Raise people up. I got hella bodies I raised up. And way better off than they was. And so you do the same. Compete with me on that kind of level, but you get my point? And y'all carry it the same. If you ever help somebody and raise them up and make them better than they was, don't ever compete with them. I'm telling you, you want to compete with me, start raising people up. That way everything stay on up and up. You force them to do your work with you. Like, you about to compete with you, nigga. That's the canceling out. But let's just skip the raising more people up and let's see how you measure up there. And keep in mind, I raised you up. You was a half a goofy when I first got with you. And so do the same. Move like that. Everything be what it need to be. Everybody be good for the most part. There's people I raised up and we not on good terms, but overall it's still a pleasure. You get it? I say, look at this little nigga, oh, look at this chick. I remember when you was a poo putt, man. You get it? And maybe they could see too and say, Danny, right. I was a whole goofy, now I'm good. And that's the whole point right there, just the awareness. From there, you go out and serve. You get my point? Raise other people up. Just don't be my enemy. I ain't do it for that. So that's the same with the rest of y'all. Now, King Court, you said, yeah, that was me, and I understand that that's cool. If it's to help someone else, I just don't know I was being recorded, so I looked at it some type of way. Indeed, there's no need to look at yourself being recorded if you ain't speaking about nothing illegal, doing nothing illegal. You get it? That's why I said you're getting too lost into street talk and watching niggas argue online about stupid street stuff to where you get it, you forgetting that. Hold on, I ain't. Whatever solace is recorded in our conversations ain't got nothing to do with me being ashamed of it. If anything, it make me look better. It make me look like I'm taking the time out to learn something at least. Instead of doing what the next nigga my age will do, which is just waste his life away. You could buy rap music and dummy yourself out, or you could balance it out. Buy some rap music, get you some one-on-ones here, there, you get it? And so, Uncut Wisdom said, you separate a lot of whole things that shouldn't be separated. Sorry to say. I don't want to go back and forth with you. You're kind of scramble-minded, but you speaking in reverse of what I do. So maybe when you get your mind together, you grasp. But you said before that, yes, brother, I just watched your recent video on the title of what's being explained. As of now, and I want to say you're accurate, but honestly don't know science in its proper aspect. I don't see how I don't know science in its proper aspect. What did I say in regards to science inaccurately? Keep in mind, I explain things in real time. So keep in mind, when you're learning science curriculum from school, they're not teaching you it real. They're teaching you a curriculum. What part of the curriculum or the real explaining of the curriculum was inaccurate? I'm just asking. Make sure you answer too. I'm gonna wait around a little bit. And the next time you have a disagreement of some sort, make sure you clear all the way on what you're saying. Y'all just be disagreeing just to disagree. So I suppose this is why you're not answering like what was inaccurate. Remember, you said everything that I say in regards to science ain't accurate. You should know exactly what you heard in the moment to make you say that's wrong. In that, it should take you 5 seconds to tell me what did I say in regard. Did you hear? That's for the rest of y'all to see. You got retards in life that you will teach, and then they will just go against you for nothing. Now y'all see it in real time. Uncut wisdom here just to go against whatever I say, but don't even know why yet. Otherwise, what did you hear in the last video that was wrong? You just watched it, so don't say you forgot. You'd have to remember it's the source of why you're saying what you're saying. That part. Can you please don't come back or give back, become a member or something, then come back. It's a deep thing. Now the rest of y'all enjoy y'all day. And I'll be back. I might come back later this evening and I'm going ahead and finish this up. That way I can get into this spell chart. Those of y'all that's a channel member did a spell chart video not too long ago, but it wasn't that clear. The wind was getting in the way. And so you said the inaccuracy of die/death, the conscious and subconscious. There's no subconscious if there's consciousness. Yeah, you're talking pseudo retard talk. You're not making sense. Again, you said something I said wrong and science was wrong. Nothing you just said has anything to do with science curriculum. Aside from that, when you said I'm inaccurate and die in death, you're not making no sense. You get it? You stupid talking. You're making it crystal clear that you have no clue of why you really said that. You just want to go against me. And so you're just squandering up anything. But I'm sure anyone reading there like, I don't understand what you're talking. See how they laughing at you? You could have just said, yeah, you're right. I just really wanted to disagree. Because I feel like it make me look a little smart too. But you gonna carry on, you get it? Making yourself look stupider and stupid, and then you gonna blame me for it. And you're like, no, but he, and you doing it. You get my point? Meaning you just ungrateful. But I explained die, death, and everything that I explained accurate in regards to reality. In regards to science, I don't have anything to do with science. You know, the subconscious is the unconscious. Subs means beneath. You don't understand that consciousness is up and unconsciousness is down. Subconscious is just another word for the unconscious, like submarine. Like I said, y'all have a bunch of words for one thing in the daytime. Y'all like to make yourself stupid. I don't know why. I just assume y'all try to pretend y'all teachers before y'all are. And that y'all don't have to know what y'all talking about. But subconscious and unconscious is the same thing. You said there's no subconscious if there's no consciousness. The nothing come before the something. If you're lost, you were unconscious before you were conscious. You was in your mother's womb unconscious before you had any consciousness that came after. Every day you wake up from unconsciousness. The unconsciousness is before the conscious when you say, I apologize. When you say there is no unconscious if there's no conscious, you're confused, not me. Meaning whoever you learn from or whatever you teach. Well, you get it? You don't know what you're talking about. More than that, I'm the wisest man alive. You don't need to stress yourself out trying to debate me. Meaning if y'all like to debate, we can. You're not going to win. It's only going to take 5 seconds like I always tell y'all. But you don't have to put yourself through that. And you could be wise too. You just think the wisest person alive. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, one of them the best basketball player ever. But you still got a bunch of other basketball players and they hold whatever merit they do, you know. Outside of that, challenging me premature is a waste of your time. You said you don't see the separation. You separate a lot of things is all I'm saying. You said that already, but you didn't make no sense in what you said. You said I'm separating things, but what did I separate? You the one separating things. You said there's no subconscious if there's no consciousness. And I never mentioned subconscious. I said unconscious. But subconscious and unconscious is the same thing. Again, you said I separate things. What? You're talking about unconsciousness and consciousness? Because they're separate. Day and night is separate. On and off is two separate things, and you gonna have one or the other when it's all said and done. But somehow you think like opposites are the same. Opposites are held in the same space to keep a balance, but at some point you get my point. One have to go. Man and woman is opposites. One thing as well, but do you get my point? They're two different things. And so you just want something to say, you get my point? When you say like I separate a lot of things, you could have just been clear on whatever you heard that I separated, which is what I asked you. What did you hear to come to whatever conclusion you did? You never say anything you heard me say, you just giving like, I'm just speaking indirectly, like you separate things, what? You went into subconscious and conscious. In that, you reaching for something dumb to say. You get my point? And so you got one more, and I'm going to let you go. Trying to bring to your awareness, you just want to challenge me. And that's fine. You want to be wise too. Lovely thing. Get there first. Otherwise, you get my point. The point was already made to you. You overly reach it. And it's for no purpose. Just embarrassing yourself to look smart for nothing. Meaning most people in here don't look at you as on my level. I'm sure you got a brain to know that. That's probably anywhere in life. If somebody listening to me and they listening to you, maybe if they programmed by what you are, You kind of got that pre-programmed babble where you already got in mind who you want to disagree with and all that goofy stuff. And that, you get my point? You're not on my level. A lot of y'all gotta cleanse out your emotional state in your mind before you even attempt to like have a sit down with me. You're not gonna win. More than that, you're gonna leave disturbed. And it's all because of that. She ain't being honest with self and straight up with self. And that you ain't speaking clear. You just saying anything you can like a child when they arguing. Trying to spark an argument of some sort. That shit don't work on me. I'm here for the knowledge. You either got it or you don't. If you want to challenge me, I want to at least have a good challenge. Meaning I'm open for debates and challenges. I don't mind. Just be of equal merit. I'm real. I want to challenge myself. I don't want to have a conversation with somebody I already know. I'll dust them off. That's beneath me. I'd rather one of my students, one of y'all can handle that. One of my students can destroy you in whatever you was talking about. So if you ever want to have a debate, but you scared to debate me, but you desperate to debate, I apologize. I'm sure I got a student or two. I thought I still had the mic on. I'm sure I have a student or two that don't mind handling you for me. And whoever you learn from, you could just go get them. And damn, I think my boy Keon just passed, if I ain't mistaken. Damn, that is crazy, man. On that note, I'ma depart. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Salam.